So today's class is a new moon restorative style class because the new moon is in Taurus. It rises tonight at about 8 o'clock. So the Taurus is an earth sign, so the energy is very grounded and very real. So you might be feeling quite tired, low energy anyway with a normal new moon. But this new moon, the energy is very much about self-care, going within, doing some internal work and really being real with yourself, looking within and seeing what you want to change, or just a lot of feelings of like security, stability, feeling at home in your own body. So today's class, we're going to work with the hips and the heart space because Venus is the planet that rules Taurus. So we'll work with the heart space, opening in restored poses, opening up with the heart space. And then the hips side of it comes from the Venus side is the sacral chakra side. So that was all got to do with your hips and your inner emotions as well. And then the heart chakra comes from down to the moon element of the class. So if you just bring your hands onto your knees, close down your eyes, and we'll just notice our breath here for a moment, breathing in and out through the nose. Trying to make the exhales longer than the inhales. Breathing in slowly for 5. Breathing out for 5. Continuing like that in 2, 3, 4, 5, and out 2, 3, 4, 5. And just bringing your awareness to anywhere in the body that you notice any tension, and trying to send the breath there. And as you inhale in through the nose, really trying to fill up the belly and then the rib cage, then up to the collarbones. And as you release, lower it down in reverse from the collarbones, down the rib cage, back down the belly. Taking some time now to really slow down, do some self-care. This new moon is all about self-care. Maybe sometimes you struggle to slow down and take some time for yourself. And just knowing that it's all right to do that. And on your next inhale, keep the eyes closed down. I want you to just bring the hands up to the face. The index fingers will come to the eyebrows, the middle on top of your eyelid, the ring to each edge of your nostril, the pinky to each edge of your mouth. And then use your thumbs to kind of flap the sides of your ears back over towards your nose or your eyes. And just keep this mudra as you inhale and exhale. Following on with the complete breaths, filling up to the rib cage and collarbone. And exhaling down in reverse. And this mudra is called tuning in mudra or Sanmukhi mudra. It's a really good one for just taking the awareness into yourself. We'll just continue like this for 3 more complete breath cycles, inhaling. Maybe trying to add some length into the inhales and the exhales. Breathing in for 6. Breathing out for 6. Breathing in for 7. Breathing out for 7. The last one, breathing in for 8. Breathing out for 8. Just gently release the hands back down onto the upper thighs and allow the eyes to flutter open. Remove anything out from underneath you if you were sitting on something, and we'll just take it into child's pose. So bring the knees together, the heels to touch, and take the forehead down onto the mat. Bring the hands back by the heels and face the palms up. Taking a moment here to ground down. Feeling the earth underneath your forehead. Knowing that you are completely supported here. And as you're curled up in this little ball, all of your organs are totally protected. In this safe posture. And if you'd like to turn on your ujjayi or yogic breath here, you can. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose, making a little constriction in the back of the throat so it sounds like the ocean. Or just continue inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Today's practice is all about finding your own intuition and just feeling what feels good in your body. On your next inhale, slowly tuck the chin and rise up to kneeling. Open the eyes if they were closed down. And just walk the hands out towards the top of the mat into a tabletop position. From here, your wrists are underneath the shoulders, the knees are underneath the hips. Inhale to lift the tailbone, lift the chest, lift the chin, look up. For cow pose, and exhale, tuck the chin, tuck the tailbone, round through the upper back, push the ground away for cat. A few more like that at your own pace. Inhaling, lift the tailbone, lift the chin, send the chest through the shoulders, and exhale, tuck the chin, tuck the tailbone, round through the upper back. Inhaling to cow, and exhaling back to cat. Inhaling and exhale. Working with the breath. Just letting go of any distractions outside the practice, into the present moment. Tuning into the body. Come back to stillness in your tabletop and make some hip circles. So inhale, send the weight just over the fingertips, and exhale, take the hips down and back towards the left side. Inhaling to come forward and exhaling, sending the hips back to the heels. We're going in the left direction. Inhaling forward, exhaling back. Warming up into the hip. And then just take it back the other direction. So towards the right, send the hips back to the heels. Inhaling and exhaling, always moving with the breath. When you're ready, come back to stillness in your tabletop. And lift your right foot and plant it on the outside of your right pinky. And then follow suit and lift the left foot and plant it on the left side of your left pinky. And lower the hips down towards the heels for Malasana or yogi squat. And if your heels are very high off your mat here, you can either roll up the edge of your mat or use a blanket to pad underneath your heels. Or you can also slip a block in underneath your bum here to make it more restorative. If you're okay in your Malasana, just take the regular variation, grounding into the outer edges of the feet, pressing the elbows into the inner knees and the inner knees back into the elbows. Bring the hands at heart center in prayer pose. Inhale and exhale. Feeling the opening in the hips. Inhale, imagine a string coming out of the crown of your head as you try to reach it up. And exhale. Inhale and exhale. A few more breaths here. You can connect with your ujjayi breath, your yogic breath here, or just use your complete breath, filling up the belly up to the rib cage and exhaling back in reverse. And when you're ready, just slowly bring the hands back down onto the ground and press into the feet and come up to a forward fold, slightly wider legged from your Malasana. And then just heel toe the feet in so they're about hips width distance. Locate your blocks here and press them underneath your shoulders. Inhale here and exhale. Come back to our cat-cows like in the beginning and allow the chest to shoot forward as the tailbone lifts up and back like we were in our cow back. Inhale and then exhale, press the tailbone forward, round through the upper back for cat. A few more like that, inhaling and exhaling. Choose the variation with your block. So maybe you want them on the highest, the lowest, or maybe you're okay here doing this with your hands on the floor, your options. Inhaling, finding that cow back, and exhaling, rounding for cat. A few more like that, moving at your own breath. Inhale and exhale. The weight is in the toes. The sit bones are over the heels. Ground into the big mounds of your big toes. Strong in all four corners of your feet. And you can bend as much as you need into the knees here. Next, when you're inhaling into your cow back, keep that and then fold all the way over to our full forward fold, our full Uttanasana. You can bend into the knees here again. You can use the blocks, or maybe you're comfortable with your hands on the floor. And just feeling that variation with the chest, sending it forward, keeping the tailbone tilted back. And allowing gravity to pull the head down towards the mat. Inhale to come back up halfway. And exhale, keeping that cow back, folding back in. Your variation, the knees can be bent here. On your next inhale, actually go ahead and bend the knees and try and keep a connection between your belly and your upper thighs. And feel that connection as you try then to straighten the legs, keeping the cow back. So this is kind of the full variation of your forward fold. This is the connection you want to keep with the thighs and the belly. Inhale, take it back up to halfway. And exhale, folding forward again. Stay here for a few breaths. Inhale and exhale. Allowing the head to be free. Maybe you nod it yes and shake it no. Maybe you sway through the hips, feeling free to take any little movements or shapes you want today. Inhale, come back up to halfway, and exhale. Send the left foot back behind you. Lower the left knee down. Take the hands on the inside of the right foot. The sole of the right foot is planted. The right knee is over the right ankle in our lizard lunge. I'll just spin around here. Your lizard lunge variation. You can stay up here on your blocks. Actually, first, everyone come up onto the higher end of their blocks or up onto their, interlace their fingers, put them around the thighs. Inhale to lift the chest, lift the pubic bone towards the ribs, and exhale, fold forward, maybe staying up on your blocks, staying here for a few breaths. Maybe you can lower the blocks down onto the next setting as you use the breath to go deeper. Eventually taking the blocks onto the lowest setting. Maybe coming down onto the forearms. Moving with your breath to release into the hips. Staying here and just sitting with any emotions that come up. Using the breath and sending it where it needs to go in the body. Just because these restorative style classes were not moving as quickly, we're still doing a lot of work and we're going deeper within ourselves, having time to sit with these emotions that come up, especially when we work with the hips. They say our issues are in our tissues, and especially the hip area stores a lot of emotions. If you're down on your forearms, you can maybe use your block to make a little pillow for your head here, just to take it out of the neck. As you release into the left hip flexors here too, as well as opening into the right hip. Working on keeping those hips squared towards the top of the mat. So sending the left hip slightly forward as the right hip pulls slightly back. Keeping all four corners of that right foot grounded onto the mat, especially the inner side. Inhale here and exhale, slide the hands back underneath the shoulders, slowly coming out, taking your time. Walk the hands back underneath the shoulders, bend into that left knee and send the right foot back. Maybe just extend it out behind you, roll out the ankle, and then replace the right knee back down. And we'll do that on the left side. So from your tabletop, inhale, send the left foot out to the back, and exhale, plant the sole of the left foot next to your left pinky thumb. Extend the right knee back behind you a little bit, as comfortable as much back as is comfortable for you. You can pad underneath that right knee or the right top of your foot with a blanket if it's very intense feeling on your knee or your blanket, or it's causing any discomfort. Inhale to come up, interlace the fingers, bring them onto the upper thigh, square off the hips, square off the chest. And exhale, take it down onto the blocks. First on the highest level, then maybe into the middle level. Breathing through. Using the breath. Tuning in to what your body is telling you and stopping when you find your edge. Maybe you can come down onto the forearms here. Inhale, send the breath to the left side of your body, the left temple, the left cheek. And just notice if you're holding any tension in the jaw here. And release through the jaw and the muscles in the face. When we work with our hips, we tend to clench into our jaws. Just trying to let go of any tension in the body. If you're down on your forearms and you want to take it out of the neck, you can put the block underneath your forehead. Or if you have a bolster here, you could slide it in under here, under the head and the chest, and just rest the upper body. Or a pillow. Just working with your breath. And when you find your place, it's comfortable for you. Comfortable discomfort. Trying to stay still in that position. And use the breath to calm the mind and the body. And when we hold these postures for longer in supported ways, the smaller muscles in our body, the fascia, the ligaments, the tendons are able to release. And with this new moon in Taurus, it's asking us to take time out for self-care, but also to assess where you are in life and think about if it's what you really want. Are you really happy? Are you hiding behind this veil of always being busy by never slowing down, never taking time? You're just ignoring the things that you don't want to deal with. Getting real with yourself. On your next inhale, when you're ready, slowly slide the hands back underneath the shoulders. You can use your blocks again to come out if you want. And slowly send that left leg back. You might want to stretch it out a little bit, roll into the left ankle. And feel nice. We're back in our tabletop position, knees and hands on the ground, and just press the hips back to the heels. Take the hands back next to the ankles, palms facing up, and just allow the forehead to ground down to the mat. Taking a moment here, reconnecting with the breath. On your next inhale, walk the hands back underneath the shoulders, come up onto the knees for tabletop, and locate your bolster or your pillows, whatever you're using instead, and just slide them towards the top of the mat so you can easily access it. For the next posture, inhale, send your right leg back behind you, and exhale, curl your right knee up to your right wrist, flex into the right foot, and plant the knee down behind the right wrist, setting up for reclining pigeon. And if you're more open here in your right hip, you might be able to bring your right shin more parallel with the top of the mat. If you're less open, you're going to want to bring that right foot closer to the left hip. So be real with yourself again here. Of course, if I snuggle that right foot back, I can go far down very easily. But if I'm working on more opening, then it's much more difficult for me. I need to stay up here for longer, breathe through it before I'll be able to fold forward. So find your place. If you want here, you can pad with a blanket or a cushion underneath the right bum if it's lifting a lot off the mat. Keep a flex in that right foot to protect your right knee, making sure the right knee is slightly out a bit further than the right hip. Look back at the back foot and make sure it's not sickled, so it's nice and straight. Tuck the back toes to lift that knee and get a little bit more depth into the left hip flexor. Inhale to sit up nice and tall, squaring off through the hips. So to get a feeling for what that feels like, your left hip's pulling forward as your right hip pulls back. So look over your right shoulder. That's the feeling you want to get. Inhale to lift up, and exhale, folding over onto your pillows. The upper body can rest completely on your pillow or your bolster. And take your right cheek onto the pillow or bolster, whatever you're using. Rest your right cheek so it matches with your right leg forward. Again, here noticing if there's any tension in the jaw or the face, and inhaling and exhaling, release that tension. Using the breath to calm the body and the mind. And when you've found your position, trying to stay still. Coming into this place of stillness. And turning in on yourself. Being here now, in this moment, in this breath. Feeling safe here in your body and fully at home. Tuning into your own inner voice, your own intuition. The energies of Taurus are looking for that deep feeling of security and safety. And like with everything in yoga, it all starts within. Sitting with the posture, sitting with your thoughts, and sitting with any emotions that come up to the surface. On your next inhale, slide your hands back underneath your shoulders. Press yourself back up. Maybe shimmy your right ankle closer back into your left hip. Tuck the back toes. Come back up into your tabletop, but send that right foot back out straight behind you. Just roll into that right ankle. Maybe bend to the right knee and take hip circles out to the side, and then back the other direction, just opening into the right hip after that big stretch. Just replace the right knee back down onto the mat, and we'll set it up for the left side. So inhale, send the left leg back behind you. Exhale, bring it forward to the left wrist and send the left foot over towards the right hand. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee to get deeper into the right hip flexor. And just see again here on this side, being real with how open you are in your hip. So trying to get that left shin parallel with the top of the mat. Of course, keep that left heel in closer to the right hip, whatever is comfortable for you, but finding your edge too. Not always taking the safer option, trying to push yourself a little bit. Inhale to lift up through the chest, and exhale, folding forward. Keeping the hips squared. Fold the upper body down onto the bolster or your pillow. This time, take your left cheek to rest on your props. Sending the right hip forward as the left hip pulls back. Keeping the hips squared towards the top of the mat. Finding your stillness. Listening to your inner voice, your inner wisdom here. Being here now, being present completely in the moment. Feeling safe and fully at home in your body. Notice any tension that's come up in the jaw, maybe on the left side. Releasing it. Sending the breath, trying to relax the whole left side of your body. Using the breath here. Just thinking about this time slowing down. Do you ever struggle to take time to slow down? Do you resist self-care? Do you feel like it's selfish? Do you struggle to treat yourself? Do you hide behind busyness? Knowing that this Taurus new moon energy is literally forcing you to take it easy, slow down, and listen to the voice of your intuition. And taking time for self-love and self-care. Trying to know and accept and love yourself and your body. Using the breath. Letting go of tension in the body. On your next inhale, slide the hands back underneath the shoulders. Slowly slide that left heel closer to the right hip. Tuck the back toes. Come up onto the back knee and send that left leg back behind you. Stretch it out, roll into the left ankle. And just take it back down to your tabletop, and then just quickly send the hips back to the heels. Slide the hands back by the feet. And just allow the head to ground down onto the mat. Taking this time to just ground down in between the hip opening postures. The Taurus is an earth sign, so it's related with grounding down, feeling safe and secure. Your next inhale, slowly tuck the chin and just rise up to kneeling just for a moment. And then tip over onto your right side and slide the feet out towards the front of the mat. Locate your blocks, or if you want for this one, you could use a blanket rolled up lengthways like a long hot dog. You could use a bolster, a big pillow if you have one, and bring it to the end of your low back, laying back over for supported fish. Or if you want to use the blocks here, you can put it on the highest or the middle setting, depending on how much of an opening you want to feel across the chest. So if you make it higher, it's going to be a bit more intense. If you make it middle, it'll be a bit less intense. So your option. So bring the one that's going to be underneath your shoulder blades lengthways, and then bring the other one to the top. So it's kind of like a small T shape, split apart. And just come onto your bum and then hold the first block, making sure that it doesn't fall over, and set your shoulder blades up onto the block in the middle, right about where your bra strap kind of is. And then locate the other one underneath your head and set it to the base of your skull. Allow the arms to splay out wide and bring the feet into Baddha Konasana or butterfly pose, so the soles of the feet touching, the knees splay out wide. Your option on how far away you want to press the feet. Further away is a little less intense on the hips. Closer in towards the bum is a little more intense. So just find your variation. And when you found your stillness, settle in. Sending the heart space up towards the sky. Allow the shoulder blades to roll down either side of your blanket or your block or your bolster. You can close down the eyes here if you're comfortable. Bring the awareness to your breath. Inhale through the nose for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And exhale for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhaling 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhaling 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. A couple more like that at your own pace. As you breathe in and out here, completely surrendering your heart space, completely open. In this restorative supported back bend. Again, noticing anything that comes up, sitting with it. Taking your attention to your heart space. Thinking about what does your heart want? What is it asking for? When you're ready, slowly bring your hands towards your hips, using them to press yourself up, slowly tucking the chin. Maybe bring the knees in together and just bring the hands to interlace around the shins and just tuck the chin and send the back towards the back of your mat, rounding out the back like our cat pose. Inhale to send the chest forward like cow, and exhale round.
feel nice across the upper back just to stretch the shoulder blades in the opposite direction after opening into them.
Your next inhale, come up, open the eyes if they were closed, just slide the knees around to the side, coming back onto our tabletop position. Locate your pillow or your bolster, whatever you're using, slide it towards the top of the mat. Send the knees under the hips in our tabletop. And exhale, walk the hands forward like towards the top of the mat and lower down, sliding the bolster, the pillow underneath the chest, keeping the hips above the knees. Puppy pose here. Take your right cheek onto your prop and just allow yourself to completely melt down. The chest is completely supported. Knowing here you're completely supported by the props. Finding your stillness and using the breath. In your next inhale, just switch the cheeks. So whichever one was resting, just switch it over to the opposite side, keeping it even in the neck. Breathing into the position. Feeling the opening across the chest. Sitting with what comes up. On your next inhale, you can either stay in this position with the bolster, or if you want to open a bit more into the shoulders, you can try it with blocks. So bring your blocks towards the top of your mat where your elbows will go. Keep your knees underneath the hips. Take the elbows down onto the blocks. Take the hands out in front so the palms are facing. And the more intense you want this, the closer to the back of your block your elbow, or the less, the closer to the top of your block your elbow will be. So inhale here and exhale, allow the head to drop between your blocks and the forehead comes down onto the mat. And then you can bring your hands to prayer, pointing up or else towards the ceiling, or else bring the thumbs to the back of your neck. Making sure the knees are under the hips. Feeling a nice stretch here through the armpits. It's not an area we really stretch into very often.
using the breath here. Opening into the back of the heart space. I think it was Gandhi who said the only demons that exist in the world are the ones running around in our own hearts. Thinking about how much sometimes we sabotage ourselves with self doubt and criticism. How we see ourselves in a different light to how others see us. Just always trying to speak to yourself from a place of kindness and compassion. When you're ready, bring the hands back up towards the ceiling and send them back out towards the front. Maybe stretch into the hands and press into the elbows to come up. Just move your blocks off to the side and slide down onto the belly. Elbows underneath the shoulders. For a quick Sphinx pose, you can bring the big toes to touch here if there's no pain in your low back. If you feel that a little, just widen the feet. Ground into the pinky side edges of your feet. Send the elbows strongly into the mat, energetically pressing them back towards the feet. Inhale here, broaden through the collarbones, send the heart forward, look forward. A couple of breaths here, inhaling deeply. Exhale. Strong in the feet. Inner thighs are rolling up towards the ceiling. Tops of your feet are pressing down so your kneecaps are lifting off the mat, but the hips and the pelvis are grounded. Roll the shoulder blades down the back towards the spine so they're not lifting up towards your ears. Trying to send your heart space forward through the shoulders as you energetically pull the elbows towards your feet. Inhale to lift the chest one more little bit, and exhale, lower the upper body down, forehead meets the mat. The palms can go back next to the hips, facing up. Taking a moment here, grounding down, forehead meets the mat. Maybe you want to shimmy the hips from side to side. Maybe you want to bend the knees and lift the heels and windshield wiper the feet from side to side on your mat too. Just taking any little movements that feel nice in your body. Listening to what it's asking for. And when you're ready, you've finished your movement, take your arms out to a T. And inhale, lift your right leg up off the mat, and exhale, slowly roll over, keeping that left hand out towards the left. Bring the right foot, stack it on top of your left. Take your right hand underneath your right shoulder in towards your chest. Stay here if that's enough, or if you want a little more, you can allow your right toes to plant behind your left knee, pointing up. Press into that right hand to open into the left shoulder space. Inhale here. stay here if that's enough. Or maybe you want to bring your right hand at the back of your right hip. Sending the right hip closer towards the earth. It can feel nice to bend into the left knee as well. So create a more stable base here. And place the right sole of your foot next to the left foot. Just allow the head to be free here on the mat, taking it out of the neck. And if you want a little more, you can flex into that left hand and reach your right hand back to interlace with your left fingers. It's totally not necessary, but just finding the option that works best for you. If you're really, really open in the shoulders, you might be able to roll so both of your feet are planted on the ground with the knees pointing up and your whole bum is on the ground. Again, taking the variation that best stretches into your body and your accessibility. Breathing here. Face and jaw are completely relaxed. Feeling that deep stretch in the left shoulder. In this broken wing posture. When you're ready, send the left leg back out straight and the right leg back straight. If the hands were clasped, release the clasp of the hands and bring the right hand back down onto the mat underneath the right shoulder and slowly roll back onto your belly. Arms back out to a T. Inhale, lift the left leg, roll onto your right hip. Take the left hand underneath the left shoulder, press it in. Maybe allow the left foot to drop behind the right, or bend into that knee and drop those toes behind the right knee. Stay here if that's enough. You can release the head down onto the mat to take it out of the neck. If you want more, reach the left hand behind the left hip. Maybe you bend into the right knee here and plant the sole of the left foot next to the right foot. Maybe you interlace the hands behind the back, making it a deeper stretch into the shoulder. Finding your variation. Maybe you can roll completely onto your backside here, so both knees point up to the ceiling and both feet are planted. Choosing the variation that works best in your body, listening to your own inner guidance, your own body's wisdom. It's your best teacher. When you're ready, send the right leg back out straight and send the left leg on top of it. Release the clasp of the hands if you had it. Take the left hand back underneath the left shoulder and slowly roll yourself back onto your belly. Take the palms facing up, down by the hips, and allow the chin to rest on the mat. Inhaling and exhaling here. Stay here if that's enough. Or if you want, you can interlace the hands at the low back, send the knuckles towards the heels. Try and keep the chin on the mat so the upper body stays grounded. Send the knuckles back behind you. Inhale, exhale. Maybe you can reach the knuckles up towards the ceiling here. Inhale, exhale. Really stretching into the shoulder and chest space and the whole heart space. When you're ready, lower the hands back down, release the clasp of the hands without letting them slingshot, and just flip onto your back. Whatever way is easiest for you to get there. Hug the knees into the chest. Bring the right knee to cross over the left and take eagle legs if you can. That means just crossing that right foot back behind the left shin, or just cross it once if that's more comfortable for you. Inhale here and exhale. Take the left hand to the outside of the right knee and guide it over to the left, keeping that left knee in line with the left hip, the right knee. Just guiding it down towards the ground. Take the gaze over towards the right hand, trying to keep the right shoulder grounded in the mat. And just enjoy the twist. Inhale and exhale. Inhale deeply through the nose. Exhale. Couple of more deep breaths like that. Inhale. Exhale. One more big breath in. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, bring the knees back up to center. Release the cross of the legs and take it around the opposite direction. So the left knee crosses over the right and hook the left foot behind the right shin if you can, or just cross once. Take the right hand to the outside of the left knee, keeping that left knee in line with the right hip, allowing them to drop over to the right side. Take the gaze to the left. Working to keep the left shoulder grounded on the mat. Big inhales and exhales here. Inhale. Exhale. Twist a little deeper. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One last big inhale. Exhale. Inhale, bring the knees back up to center. Release the cross. Hug the knees into the chest. Inhale, send them out a little, and exhale, hug them in. Inhale to lift the head and the shoulders up off the mat. Take a big deep breath of air in through the nose. Hold it in. Try to suck another tiny little bit of air in. Keep doing that until you can't possibly fill up your lungs anymore. And like your lungs are a balloon, exhale to pop your balloon and send the feet out to each corner of the mat, palms out wide facing up. If you'd like a more restorative shavasana here, you can bring your blanket or your pillow or your bolster underneath the knees, just to take some pressure out of your low back. You can, of course, just take the regular variation, or if you want a more heart opening shavasana, you can take your blanket or bolster to the low back, lengthways along your spine, allowing the shoulders to drape over like our heart bench variation. Choosing your variation. If you want to get cozy in your shavasana here too, you can put a pillow or a blanket over yourself and maybe put a little pillow underneath your head. From here, just take one big deep breath in through the nose and let it go out the mouth. One more like that, in through the nose, sigh it out the mouth. Last time, in through the nose, sigh it out, let everything go. Just start to bring your awareness to your right hand, your right thumb, and completely relax it. Relax your right index finger, middle finger, ring finger, baby finger. And the whole palm of your hand is relaxed. The right wrist, forearm, elbow, upper arm, right shoulder, completely relaxed. The right armpit and the whole right side body is completely relaxed. Take your awareness to your left hand, your left thumb, your left index finger, middle finger, ring finger, and pinky, completely relaxed. The left palm, the left wrist, forearm, elbow, upper arm, shoulder, completely relaxed. Your armpit and your whole left side body, completely relaxed. Now your right upper leg, your right knee, your right shin, your right ankle, your right foot, big toe, middle toe, third toe, fourth toe, baby toe, sole of the whole foot, completely relaxed. And on your left side, your left upper leg, left knee, left shin, left ankle, the left sole of your foot, left big toe, middle toe, third toe, fourth toe, and baby toe, whole sole of your foot, completely relaxed. Your both hips and all the muscles around your seat, your whole spine, the lower back, the middle back, the upper back. Feel the shoulder heads roll down and sink into the mat. Your whole neck, your whole head, completely relaxed and supported by the ground below you. Relax any tension in the jaws. Allow the tongue to hang free in the mouth. Notice the cheeks being dragged towards the earth. Relax any tension around the eyes and the eye sockets. Space between the eyebrows. And lastly, relax your mind. Completely relaxed. You are completely relaxed. You are completely relaxed. When you're ready, slowly start to bring your awareness back into your physical body, waking it up with some small movements in the fingers and toes, making some gentle circles with the wrists and ankles. Inhale, bring the big toes to touch and reach the arms up overhead, taking a big morning stretch. Exhale, let it all go. Inhale, hug the knees into the chest. And exhale, today roll onto your left side. Your left side is associated with the moon's left feminine energy. Stay here for a moment, preparing to re-enter the world after your practice. Press into the right hand, keeping the eyes closed down. Find your way back to an easy seat. Stacking the shoulders up over the hips. Bringing your awareness back to the body. Noticing if there's any tension anywhere. Sending some breath there. We'll just close out the practice today with a pranayama technique called humming breath or Brahmari breath. So just watch first, because when you need to block your ears, so you mightn't be able to hear me if you start doing it straight away. So you just bring your index fingers to block your ears, inhaling and exhaling through the nose still, and allow the teeth to remain open. And when you exhale, you make a humming sound. So inhale. That's
what we're going to be doing. We'll do it like 5 times. And the idea is that this humming sound is like a nice, relaxing, soothing sound to send you off to sleep. So bring the index fingers in to gently press into the ears. Inhale through the nose and exhale to hum. The eyes to close here. Inhale and exhale. Inhale. Exhale, hum. Last one, inhale. Exhale to hum. Release the fingers from the ears and take the hands to prayer at heart center. Bow the chin into the chest. Take a moment here to thank yourself and your body for showing up, taking the time out for self-care, taking the time out to slow down. Thank you so much for allowing me to guide you through your practice today. The light and love in me sees and honors the light and love in all of you. I hope you sleep well tonight. Namaste.